All right, go ahead, Terrell. You are recording now.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Terrell Williams. I'm a student at Rutgers University Newark. I'm a junior and I interned at New Jersey Transit as a strategic staffing intern in our talent acquisition department. With me on the call, we do have Sue Ann Harrison if she want to introduce herself.
Hi, guys. Thank you again for joining us today. I am the Talent Acquisition Coordinator for the internship program, and we also have Gloria Vrabel, who's not on the call. She's actually the director of the program. But Terrell is handling this for me. He's been taking these on, so we're getting him well groomed in the speaking aspect of when we attend all of these events. So he's gonna facilitate this for us today. Thanks, Terrell.
So right now I'm gonna share our presentation. Can you guys see it?
Yes, it looks great.
Thank you. Okay, so what a great way to start in information session is to talk about the history of New Jersey Transit. We decided to add this slide into our presentation because we felt like it was always important for anybody, whether you're applying full-time, part-time, or even the internship, to learn the history of an organization before you actually apply for it. So in 1979, the New Jersey Public Transportation Act was created, and because of that act, it created New Jersey Transit, which we all know today. So back in 1980, New Jersey Transit had purchased the largest private bus company at the time in New Jersey, because at the time they had other private entities in New Jersey instead of one united transportation organization. And then later on in that decade, it also implemented a rail operation Inc. So it just added the rail aspect of whatever they had in New Jersey into like the big umbrella of New Jersey Transit. And throughout the years, New Jersey Transit managed to get bigger by working with local towns who also had their own private bus and rail system, just to incorporate into New Jersey Transit as a whole, so that the all the transportation in New Jersey would be ran by New Jersey Transit. If you guys ever been to Newark Penn Station, if you guys look at this picture, this is actually what Newark Penn Station used to look like about 100 years ago. So it's always good to reflect back on history and see how the organization had always innovated itself to be the New Jersey Transit that we know today in 2020. So a couple of things we're going to go over in this presentation is the program details, the internship majors, and how to apply, and then we're going to do questions at the end. So our summer internship program is a 10-week program, and typically it always starts around like the first week of June, and it will end towards the end of August. And this isn't a co-op program, so we don't hire interns in the spring or fall, but every year we always add our interns in the summer. And then as you guys see in parentheses, we do have a way that students could be extended. So for example, me currently right now, I got brought in into the spring semester, but just to help out with the summer internship program, and they extended me into the summer, and then now I'm currently got extended into the fall semester. So the way that extensions work is that it's between the manager and the students. If you have been performing extremely well during the internship program, they take that into consideration, and also how much budget your department has. So those are the two factors which will determine whether or not a student would be extended into the following semester. So this is a paid internship. The pay scale ranged from $12 an hour, meaning being a freshman, and up to $22 an hour. And it all depends on your year in school and whether or not you're a tech major or a non-tech major. So for example, me being a non-tech major, as a junior, I will make less than somebody who's an IT major at a junior level as well. So it was just $1 off, whether or not based off the pay scale. So our location, so in 2021, we're looking at a remote internship. So it will be online most likely. But in the past, we do have students that would actually come into the office in Newark in our headquarters, One Penn Plaza, which is right across the street from Penn Station. So if you guys commute, you guys could just take the train, bus to Penn Station, then you guys could just walk right across the street. We also do have an office in Maplewood, which is where Sue and Gloria and myself are located. We do have the East Newark department, and we also do have a Kearney department as well. So these are just locations where students could possibly work at. To be eligible for the program, you guys must be enrolled in an accredited college or university, and online classes do count as well. So events that we used to have in the past before the whole Corona pandemic happened, we used to offer students a site tour of the police site tour, so that they got the chance to go to Orange, New Jersey, which is where the New Jersey Transit police training location is located. We also do have the New Jersey Transit Security Awareness and Vigilant for Everybody program. So Ann could talk more about that one, but it correlates with what the police department is doing. We do have our meet and greet session. So our meet and greet will basically be within like the first 2 to 3 weeks of the internship program. We'll invite all the interns to One Penn Plaza so that they can have the opportunity to meet each other as well, because we know that being an intern, it's hard to actually tell who's the intern and who isn't. So it's just a way for that all the students can meet for the first time. Also, like another aspect about the meet and greet is that we also do have our guest speakers come. So we always bring in the president of New Jersey Transit, Kevin Corbett, to speak to the interns. We also do have the chief of HR, the director of community engagement, and just a lot of other guest speakers just to talk about their experience at New Jersey Trans and just to welcome our interns. And then at the end of the program, we always host an end of the summer lunch. And basically it's just a time for the students to just unwind and just get to know each other a little bit better and just to say their goodbyes before the end of the program. And for all of our events, transportation is provided to all of our offsite events. So whatever department you guys are located, whether it's Newark, Maplewood, etc., you guys will all meet at One Penn Plaza. A shuttle bus will pick you guys up and take you guys to your event, and then it will drop you back off at One Penn Plaza. And this is just a little note right here. Due to the pandemic, tours were canceled, and yeah, basically we had to switch from an in-person event to a virtual event. So leading into this slide, these are the 3 virtual events that we hosted because due to the coronavirus. So the first one was our Q&A session. So basically, we just offered a week before the program starts the opportunity for students to actually come together and just access any questions they have pertaining to the program, what they're going to do on the first day, and etc. Typically, when students got hired in the past, they usually will come to the North Penn Station office where their paperwork would be processed, and then any question that they ask, they would just access there in person. But because of the pandemic, we just had to switch to the settings to make sure that everybody's on the same page before their first day of work take place. Next event we did online was our meet and greet. Same concept. Same. We had the president of New Jersey Transit speak, chief of HR. We had an intern who actually received a full-time position. Spoke about her experience at New Jersey Transit. And then we also do have the end of the summer program event. So this one was a little bit different compared to the meet and greet. Rather than just stick with like presentation slides, we actually allowed the students to be broken up into smaller groups inside of our Microsoft Teams. And then they would just play a couple of games and just get to know each other better. And then at the end of it, we gave out their virtual certificates saying that, hey, congratulations for completing the New Jersey Transit internship. And it was pretty much a blast. Everybody enjoyed themselves. So these are the majors that we typically hire for at New Jersey Transit. I'm not going to go over all of them because this is the School of Human Resource and Labor Relations, so I'm not going to go over that.
Sorry, I'm going to stop you for a minute. There's actually a number, there are HR students, but if you want to just pause for a minute. I think there are a plethora of other majors on here too.
Okay, so these are the typical majors that students do apply under as. So like we do get a lot of accounting, marketing, procurement, supply chain, and etc. But if you guys are interested in any department, whether it's your major or not, you guys still should apply regardless. If you guys ever, when the applications roll out for our positions, just take the time out to read the job description of it so that you guys can have a better understanding and see, hey, this is something that I'm passionate about. Because sometimes we do have like a lot of students who are in like marketing, but they want to go into like criminal justice. So like that's possible as well. Just make sure that you guys declare that in your cover letter as well. But we're going to get to that towards the end of the slide, more details about that. So this is just something that we believe that students should ask themselves, are you employment ready? So what internship experience have you had in the past that you think would make you a great candidate for this position? What employment during college have you had? We know a lot of students work on campus and off campus. How what like just think about what transferable skills you had in those past positions would make you a great candidate for the internship program. Your college major play a factor, volunteer experience, and extracurricular activities. Are you a leader? Like, are you involved? And it just helped to show what well-rounded person you are and how basically this job description is like a reflection of you. And it's just something that you guys could just take a look at and just think about when you're applying for jobs. What students want and what we want to offer students. So at New Jersey Transit, the whole point of this internship program is to develop skills for their future, have strong company values, offer a career path, because that's the whole point of the internship, is to figure out whether or not this internship program is something that you're interested in, whether or not this career path is something that you want. I'll take myself for example. I never had an internship program before, and all I had was like work experience. But me being a part of New Jersey Transit, the internship program, it really confirmed the fact that how I really want to go into human resource. So that's a good thing about that. Are you an engaged student? So what that means is whether or not like you're consistent on like how engaged you are within like the organization. Like, can you take initiative at the end of the day? Are you committed? Are you confident? And these are just something to also just have in the back of your head when you apply, so that you know that, hey, this is the internship program for me. We want you. These are the type of students that we look for within New Jersey Transit for our internship program. Are you passionate about learning? Are you interested in using creative solutions to make an impact on the life of others every day? Are you fascinated about the opportunities to gain hands-on experience with several transportation business units? So like I said, again, these are things that you guys would just have in the back of your head to just ask yourself, hey, like, am I the perfect candidate for this position? And last but not least, how to apply. So more details will come out to your career development center. I believe Rutgers is on Handshake. So if you guys follow New Jersey Transit on Handshake, whenever you post a position, you guys will get a notification in your email and on the app saying that, hey, New Jersey Transit had posted a job position. So just keep that in mind. And we all are invited to apply with resumes and cover letter. So when you're filling out your application, make sure you guys fill it out in its entirety. Make sure you guys submit your resume, because that's like the most important factor inside of like the actual application itself. And that's what we're going to use to send over to the hiring managers so that they can review your resume. And like I did mention, it's always important to have your cover letter. So if you're interested in, let's say, for example, psychology, and but you want to apply for a job in human resource, it's good to state like, hey, this I'm majoring in psychology and I want to intern in human resource because I have this much experience and just so on and so forth, because we wouldn't know based off of looking at your resume that you want to go into psychology. It's just something that you guys have to tell us. Um, we do take international students. You guys just have to be sponsored by your school. We don't handle the sponsorship. So that's something to be mindful for as well. And Sue-Ann, if you want to add anything that I missed or chime in.
No, you pretty much covered everything. So yes, we do take OPT, CPT students. But like he said, we do not sponsor visas for students. This entire program, we are assuming at this time it'll be remote 100%. However, I'm sure he may have touched on it. We have some positions that may be on site. Typically, a lot of some of our IT students and engineering students. Jacqueline, you mentioned there may be a variety of students on the call. So just to give them a heads up that they may be on site a little bit, but it's not 100%. There's one or two positions I have posted on Handshake. If you know of anyone in the engineering area, they can take a look at those. As the positions come in, we're adding them to Handshake, and we are sending notice to the career services to get them a heads up, like, hey, we have added the roles. Um, Jacqueline, I'm sorry. Are you guys you utilize Handshake, correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's
We
okay.
we're with so many schools I can't keep up sometimes.
No.
So Terrell mentioned to me because he's on both ends where he's on the user end and also as the employer. I'm more on the employer end, obviously. So he said that you can like add New Jersey Transit to, I guess, the list of schools. And then every time we post a job, you'll get some sort of notification. If not, I guess typically you would have to actually type New Jersey Transit in to see what positions come up. So that's a quick way of knowing what we have. It's taken us some time. We have been working with the managers to reproduce the job description simply because what we had last year, as you all know, COVID hit in March, and we had already created these job descriptions, and students had already applied to these jobs. So now we're revamping things to incorporate more of a remote setting. So that's taking some time. And as I get them, I'm not waiting for like one lump sum to post. As I get them from the managers, I'm going to start to post them. So just keep an eye out. Um, if any students are on here that are graduating May 2021. Just keep in mind you can email us at the inbox, and with your resume. And we tend to keep those in case one of the recruiters is looking for like a junior level role. For you guys who are just graduating, you'll be, one of those candidates. We send them your resume. So don't hesitate to still send to us. We do keep it on file for a little while. Um, just in case as a backup to someone who's trying to fill a permanent role. So don't shy away from sending us your information. Um, and I think at this point, we can open up the floor to any questions.
Okay, great. So I know that Carlos had put a question here, and I don't know if you just answered this because I was pulling up the internship on Handshake, but my colleague Carlos Flores, I can't speak, said, thanks so much for presenting. Are your internships open to specific class years or open to any class year? And I know you kind of touched upon that, but just to clarify, so internships they vary depending on what students' class years are, correct? So they could be in a specific group. And do you have graduate student interns?
So that's more tailored to what you're kind of mentioning, Jacqueline. The pay rate is based on the year in school.
Okay.
So starting off as a freshman, you would start off at 12, but if you're a tech freshman, you'll get 13, that kind of thing. However, the job descriptions themselves, it varies. So some areas, like the one I already posted, I think she wants juniors only. He or she wants juniors only. Another one I'm putting up, they want sophomores and juniors. So it varies. We do take freshmen, sophomore, junior, and grad students. So if a student is graduating May 21, technically they're not eligible for our program. However, if the student is graduating in December 21, they are still eligible. And if the student is graduating May 2021, but going into grad school, they are also eligible.
Okay,
It's just only if a student is graduating May 2021 and is no longer furthering their education, they cannot proceed with the progress of, I'm sorry, with the program.
understood. Another question came up from a student who is a civil engineering major and was wondering what type of projects engineering interns do and what tasks do they do during their internship?
So that's a little tricky for me to answer. They work on something totally different from, so I'm not aware of exactly what's going on in other areas. However, I do know they had projects to complete, and it was more so based on the work that they did for the 10 weeks. They were asked to put up like a PowerPoint, a quick, like not even a 5 minute PowerPoint presentation together to explain what they were doing and working on all summer. Um, I mean, the engineering department is pretty big and they're doing different duties, jobs. Some are on site, some are not, some are specifically remote. However, we take civil, mechanical, architectural, um, you know, engineering students. So there's a lot of work involved, and I cannot specifically give you something right now. However, I don't want to say your name because I don't want to mess it up. You can inbox me in the summer intern box, and I could kind of go over some of the job descriptions with you. Right now, like I said, one is posted on Handshake um, for an engineering role, and I'm putting another one up first thing tomorrow morning. So just keep a lookout, and you'll get the full scope of the roles by reading through the job description. But we can chat on the side.
Okay, I just wanted to show what the description looks like that you were talking about. So anyone that's, looking at my screen right now, you can see the engineering one. It's environmental, energy, and sustainability intern. This is the new one that was posted just a couple of days ago on Handshake. And again, you can search for it in the jobs. But you also, if you just go in the search bar and you type in NJ Transit up here, it'll show.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions from students? Trin said, thank you. I'll pose one if anyone's thinking of anything, but for Terrell or for Sue-Ann, what drew you to NJ Transit? Why did you want to work for that organization as an intern or full-time?
Go
I'll
ahead,
go
Tara.
first. So I grew up in New Jersey, always been taking public transportation, New Jersey Transit. I basically grew up with it. So when I saw this opportunity, I said, why not? And it's always funny because like someone said, like I like as a intern, I get to see like Handshake from like the students and then also like to be on the scenes from like the employer end. And it's the same concept with me working at New Jersey Transit, seeing it from like the company end and me being a customer and always riding the train and the buses. So like I always just felt like that's interested. The office that we actually work in when I was younger, when I used to always go to the mall to go to work, I always used to drove past the office on the bus. And I always used to look to my right and say, I wonder what this building is. And now every day I get to go into the building and say, okay, so wow, it makes sense. This is what it is.
So, I've been in HR for some years now, and I've dabbled in talent acquisition. I was more of like a HR generalist, HRBP roles, and I recently, within the past few years, picked up a lot of talent acquisition duties. And when the opportunity came about to strictly work on the internship program, I thought that was like an amazing idea because I have hired interns in the past at previous companies, and I just thought like just solely putting my heart and my sweat and tears into the internship program would be ideal for me because I love every second of it. It's it's you're busy. I'm constantly gone. I'm on the road all summer long. Well, after the program ends in August. I pretty much hit the road from September to November, and I'm just constantly interacting with tons and tons of people. And we get to you get to know a lot of the employees at the different companies, and I get to see some of the students more than once because they may show up at different events, that kind of thing. And it's very intriguing when you have students who are like serious about their career and they're like, hey, I need to speak with you. And they'll wait for like 30 minutes while I chat with so many other people just to get that one on one time. And so, as I've been in talent acquisition and just having the ability to be a part of this program, watch it flourish, watch it grow, um, it's just been the ideal job for me. And again, that's why when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, I'm definitely, I was 100% interested. And I've been here for almost 2 years and I continue, I see myself just growing within the role because you're always learning something while you're here. It's never just cut and dry. And like, the pandemic definitely taught us some things and it made us revamp a lot of the program in a matter of months, weeks. We were just kind of like rolling with it and just getting things done. So, the talent acquisition aspect of HR is very tricky. Um, you learn a lot, and again, you get to meet all these great people. So I think this role is just ideal for someone who, like me, who loves to run their mouth and talk to everyone and be outside in the community and attending events. So my time here has been great, and bringing Terrell on has made things so much easier because it was just me. In a sense, and Gloria is here, but she works closely with the police department, so I'm kind of like just involved in the internship by myself. So Sorrel, who did not have HR experience, um, based on his resume, based on his past employment, is why we brought him on. Um, his resume spoke out where he was someone who was not only engaged and committed, but definitely confident in what he does. So that allowed us to choose him over several interns that we interviewed. And we kind of was like, we think he can handle one, the pressure, because it is sometimes a position where we're constantly like, we got to get this done right now, like not tomorrow, but now. And he's hung in there. He's been there a long time, so it hasn't been that bad. But we definitely seek candidates like Terrell, and he definitely shows that he puts in a lot of work and effort into the program. So we definitely appreciate Terrell and having him on board.
That sounds sweet. That's great. Um, any other advice that you could have for a student in regards to having their resume stand out to you as an intern candidate? Not like beyond the requirements, how can a student shine in the process of applying to this internship?
So I would say this. A lot of freshmen get nervous and they're like, well, can I apply? Do you think I'll even get called or would I get an offer? And I understand where their concern comes in because they have not had a lot of work experience. But that's not what this is about. I think for your resume, definitely include any clubs you've been in, whether it's, through high school, whether it's not through high school. And again, of course, as you're a college student, anything you've been involved in that if you've listed it on your resume, it stands out and it makes sense why you're trying to intern within this specific area. Highlight those things. Some students don't put any activities or hobbies at the end, but it does factor in as an intern, as an of course, if you're like a seasoned adult looking for jobs, yes. Do those things really matter at the time? Not so much, but in college, it can make a difference. For the manager to look at your resume and say, okay, well, he or she has been doing these things on the side. You have sometimes students who just take up, you sit on YouTube and you do coding on your own or something like that. All of these things factor in on your resume, so don't shy away from adding these um, pertinent information. Your cover letter is definitely something that's very important. Terrell mentioned that, so be sure if there's any question about your resume, you're not sure, definitely add these things to your cover letter. It helps you stand out.
Great, thank you. Last call for any student questions. I haven't seen anything new come through the chat, but I know sometimes at these info sessions, students have a lot of questions, and then other times they think of them after. So maybe your inbox might be flooded afterwards.
That's totally fine.
Just wait another second. Again, any other questions?
So I'll just say, as I'm thinking about things, the application process, um, we have the link will be posted on each job description. So that link will take you to our application, to our platform. Be sure to complete the entire application. Be sure to add your resume. Our platform is designed to kind of like boot you to the side if you do not complete it accurately, especially with no resume. We will definitely kind of, when I say boot you, it's like we don't even see you. Um, you become non-existent in the system. However, you are there. Your name is there. If you call 3 months down the line, 4 months down the line, which students do have done. Well, I applied back in January or October and I haven't heard anything. I think I'm a phenomenal candidate. And I'm like, okay, let me pull you up. And then I go in and see no resume. They put in a handful of, they answered a handful of questions and then they just left it blank. Things like that will get you dismissed, and we will not even see you as a possibility for that position that you apply for. So keep that in mind. Um, if you add the link, I'm sorry, if you click on the link or you copy and paste it into your browser and you're having issues opening our platform, we're and more compatible with Chrome. So keep that in mind. Of course, if you go to Chrome for some reason it's not opening, try another browser, whether it's Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, etc. These are calls. I'm bringing this to your attention because these are a lot of our issues we deal with students when they're trying to complete the application. So I just, I figured I'll go over it. If you continue to have issues, that becomes more of like an IT thing, and we'll direct you to someone to assist, but definitely complete the entire application. You have any questions about something, feel free to email us. If there's any students who are on the call that's us with a student visa, um, they don't have certain things, they can't fill it out, like whether they don't have a driver's license from the US or they don't have a social security number, that kind of thing. We get it. So you just put NA in those boxes, and we'll deal with it as you get hired. We'll take care of all of those things. But if you forget when that time comes and you're like, oh, I need to fill this out and I don't know what to do, just email us and we'll guide you through the process.
Great, thank you. So since there weren't any other questions, I'll give you all a little bit more time back in your afternoon, but I want to thank you so much, Terrell and Suan, for your time. Thank you for everyone that joined on the information session today. Again, I did try to record this, so hopefully I will have it available for any other students that missed this and have questions later on. But again, as internships are posted on Handshake, just make sure that you're continuing to take a look. You can actually set up a saved search with the keyword of NJ Transit to be notified when they're posted to Handshake. And with that, I thank you all. You're getting a couple thank yous in the chat too, but thank you so much for your time, and I hope everyone has a great afternoon.
Definitely. You do the same. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.